Have you ever tried to keep have you ever tried to keep your eyes open in the middle of a storm? Like a real storm where you don't even know where to point your umbrella because the rain is coming in every single direction and the wind is so strong you feel like you might blow away with everything else. And the thunder is shaking your house with its noise and lightning is filling up the sky and you're not sure if you might get hit by debris. I used to go to Japan every single summer and it was typhoon season. And sometimes we would experience these intense storms and they were really cool when you were in the safety of your home and the lights would go out and you would have candles or you would play games in the middle of a storm. But if you were out in the storm, it wasn't as fun. You couldn't keep your eyes open because the rain was just getting in your face and we could see the beach from our house and the waves would just come over the seawall and it was kind of scary. The wind was so strong, I felt like I could literally be blown over. And you could barely keep your eyes open in the middle of a storm like that, much less keep your eyes focused on something and go towards it. It's kind of like that when you're going through a storm in your life, when you're experiencing pain and suffering or loss. People tell you to keep your eyes on Jesus and he'll get you through. It's a lot easier said than done, at least in my experience. Recently, we suffered a pregnancy loss and it was very hard to feel like, you just lost something so precious and the hope was kind of taken away. And we went through probably one of the toughest storms, strongest storms in my life. And it's still not passed all the way through, but it was hard to keep my eyes focused on Jesus and keep that hope going. And I often say that in order to get through a storm in our life or tough times in our life, we have to remember what he's done in order to experience the hope of what he will do. And again, easier said than done. And the way that I have found hope in the middle of this storm is by going to Psalm 23 and just reading about all the things that he does provide, even in the midst of a storm. And in Psalm 23, it actually talks about like the exact opposite of a storm, a peaceful pasture, peaceful streams. You don't experience that in the middle of a storm. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever." It's like the opposite of being in the middle of a storm. A peaceful pasture, the sun shining on your skin, you feel the warmth of that, and or dwelling in the house of the Lord in the middle of a storm. That's just so valuable when you're experiencing a storm. And I felt a lot of lost hope in the first few days of experiencing this loss. And then I realized how grateful I am to God. It was just a sudden realization that he has been there for me in so many other storms, and he will do it again. We lost something so precious, but it made me more grateful for everything that I have right now, for a beautiful baby that I have. Not everyone has that blessing, and I'm grateful for that. For the wonderful church family that took the time to send cards and flowers. I'm grateful for that. God has provided rest and restoration and comfort through all the people that have surrounded me. And he has been present in the middle of the storm. The way that I've been able to focus on the hope, to focus on what is coming, because after every storm comes a rainbow. After a storm doesn't remain forever. After a storm comes sunny days, like the ones we're having right now. You experience the warmth of the sun once again, eventually. God will bring those back. And in the middle of this storm, I'm just grateful for who I have with me right now. The precious people I have that God is shining through his light. I needed all of those people. Even in the middle of the storm, I feel like I have light and sun and warmth because of all the people that he has placed in my life, all of the precious things that I'm able to experience still while experiencing pain and suffering. He is my shepherd. He does make me lie down and rest, and he has provided those things. And because of the pain, I am able to really appreciate joy even more. It's funny because we hate suffering. Who likes to suffer? Who likes to feel pain and brokenness? But without that, can we really appreciate the sun, the warmth of the sun, the rainbow, the beauty of the rainbows? Can you really appreciate all of that? When you're going through good times, it's easy to fall into this contentment, and you just you're not as grateful for all of these things. But after this storm, I've been feeling more grateful and more content than ever before, and realizing that God is so present right now. He is my shepherd, and he has prepared a place for me, and I'm feeling that place right now. I'm feeling that peace right now, and I know that this storm will not be present forever. I know this storm will pass, and after the storm comes the sunshine, comes the rainbows, and I have hope for the future. I'm not sure what kinds of storms you're going through or what you're experiencing, and not everyone experiences the same thing. Whether you're going through a storm right now, or a storm has just passed, or a storm is brewing in the distance, I pray that you remember. And that's something that I've taught students a lot, and I continue to teach myself, and God continues to teach me, is remember what God has done in the past, and that will give you hope for the future. That would actually give you hope for right now, and recognize that he is still present, he is still moving. What has all of the things that have happened, God will use for good somehow, and he is using it for good. Keep your eyes focused on those good things, on the fact that we have people who care and love us enough to write beautiful notes and messages when you're going through hard times. Those people that give you hugs, the hugs that just make you break down, and that it's okay to break down in their arms. Those are so much more precious in the middle of a storm. And I encourage you that you try to focus on Jesus right now and see how he is present. Who is he using in your life to be present in your life, to shine light through even in the middle of a storm? How is he guiding you and making you lie down in green pastures, or restoring you, or giving you comfort? He's present, but sometimes you have to look through the rain, look a little harder to see what he's doing to prepare the way for you. And let me encourage you, the storm will pass, and you will feel sunshine once again. Just hold on, keep your eyes focused on Jesus, and recognize that he has never left us, and he'll bring us through. Have a good day.